Say what needs to be said. It's your host, your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. All pro bowler, all that good stuff. Over 51 interceptions over my career, multiple records, multiple touchdowns. Then I got my co-host with me. You know, he a little late sometimes, you know, but he keep us going. Ex-NFL vet, Cincinnati Bengal, Jacksonville Jaguars, Mr. Elton Patterson, also known as EP. What's up, baby?
What up, man? I'm here. Hey, better late than never, but never late is better.
They want to hear a little energy in your voice, man. It's wild card weekend. Turn up. You can't be acting like this the regular season, brother. Let's get this thing going.
My problem is none of my teams are in the playoffs right now. The Bengals and the Jaguars are at home. So, but I'm gonna keep it going though. We can get it going. Turn up.
Them Bengals. Them Bengals. Right. Let's jump right into it. Since you know better late than never is here. Let's get right into it because usually we start at 10, but we're going to start holding them accountable and we're going to cuss him out at the end of this thing because he need to be cussed out, held accountable, and he the reason we late. But Cowboys versus the Packers. Cowboys versus the Packers. The biggest thing I saw, the takeaways from this game, the winners and losers, on the Cowboys side of the defense, the Cowboys defense, man, the biggest issues I've seen with them, they were playing defense with their eyes and in the backfield. And the linebackers in secondary basically wasn't doing their assignments. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to do in each and every play design for the players to execute the plays. It was just too many eyes in the backfield trying to make plays. And sometimes that's what I mean by you have to have those role players because the star players want to make the big play every time, every play. And you have to be disciplined with your eyes to do the correct assignments, to hold each other accountable, to make sure this defense or this play design is executed the correct way. And that was the biggest thing I saw from Dallas, man. Also, they came out flat. They were very flat. But, man, when you're playing with your eyes and not doing your assignments and concentrating your assignments, you will give up multiple big plays. And we saw that from the linebackers to the secondary. You know what I mean? So what are your takeaways? What's your thoughts, bro?
Man, I just think they didn't come to play like as a whole. Like I was watching NFL Today with Jimmy Johnson, an old coach.
Yeah,
and he had
like speech.
Yeah, man, he had like tears in his eye. I'm like, is he joking? But he looked like he was serious. And the funny part about it, Michael Strahan got in the 3-point stance, which he probably ain't did in 10 years. He was like, Coach, you got me ready to play. So yeah. I think it was just what he was saying. Like, they just didn't come out to play. It's probably like we the Cowboys, we playing at home. This Green Bay team, they ain't all that good. And what we talked about a few weeks ago, it's all about the momentum going into the playoffs. Them record stuff don't count. So it's all about how you playing going into the playoffs. And they just came out flat. I don't know what it was. I think it was like the star power. We're the Cowboys, we're the Stars, we're America's favorite team, and they ain't had no dogs out there mentally to get it done.
And like you said, that star power, more like a front runner team. And that's what Tyreek Hill was saying about his team, the Dolphins and stuff like that. The Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins remind me of front runners. You know, when everything is going good, we are down with the cause. But when adversity hits and strikes, no one is there to step up or take lead or take control. And like you said, the momentum going into the playoffs is very important. And if a lot of people don't realize, Aaron Jones had his first 100-yard rushing game against the Carolina Panthers. I think it was December 24th. And ever since then, 100-yard games, all the way into the playoffs. And I think that's the secret to success for the Green Bay Packers. With Jordan Love, the way he's playing, Aaron Jones running that ball, that's what's making Jordan Love so successful at this point. And obviously, he's a great talent and a great player. But when you have that run game, and now you're trying to stop or put 7 or 8 men in the box, and now you're one-on-one with the tight end, with the receivers, with the running backs, everybody's one-on-one coverage. Now you could design stuff up and do your trick plays. And that's the special part of Jordan Love. And all the new good quarterbacks, except for Lamar Jackson, all the new great new era quarterbacks, they do one thing great, and they are able to manipulate the pockets to create times and find that open player, find the weakness in the defense, give the offensive player or the receiver a chance to create and get open. And that's what I'm seeing out there. It's like he takes that extra half a second. You know he's going to get hit in the mouth, and he gets the ball off. You know, it's not the perfect form or technique. And man, he is doing a hell of a job, man. Him, Patrick Mahomes, and CJ Stroud, they do it so good, buying time and manipulating the pocket to allow their receivers to get open. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I think one of the main things with Jordan Love on how he's coming through and developing, I see it. I can see it in the game. Is being up under Aaron Rodgers and learning for 4 years. Yes, he's a first-year guy, but he's kind of coming through as a vet out there. Like, he's so poised. Like, just imagine studying something for 4 years, and he's coming out into his own. So I think it was great, man. I think Jordan Love is running that team the way he's supposed to. He's making the right throws. He's not scared to make the big throws. He's not checking it down. He's not ABC 1, 2, 3. He is out there competing. I think that's what's going on with it. A lot of people don't understand. He played behind Aaron Rodgers for 4 years, was patient, never complained, and now it's his moment. And the game's probably slow to him. You've been in the game before where it just seems like everything is slow motion and you just out here having fun, and that's where he's at right now.
Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go up to Baltimore and handle their business, or at least play very competitive and give the Baltimore Ravens a scare. Like I said, Aaron Jones would be the X factor. If he can get that running game going, his average like 5 yards a game, 5.66 yards per game within that like 5 or 6 game span. And if he can do that against the Ravens, I mean, that might be a little trouble, man. It won't be as easy as we think. But, you know, that's a very talented team, and you definitely can't take them for granted. But on the other side, the Cowboys, what are the issues with the Cowboys? You know what I mean? And let me tell you, one thing I see with Dak, everyone has their number one receiver. And, we give CeeDee Lamb praise, and I had enough time to evaluation. I've seen everybody come out early doing their evaluation, saying whether he's the number one receiver or not and all those things. I think CeeDee Lamb is missing that number one explosive receiver on the other side of him to complement him and make this team take this team to the next level. Because CeeDee Lamb, you know, if you want to create a number one receiver, you can force the ball to him. You can throw the ball to him a lot of. You can create matchups for him to get him the ball. You can put him in motion. You can put him in slot, inside, outside, and match him up against linebackers and so on and so forth. And force the ball to him. But when I see him in man-to-man coverage and it's time to create separation, and Dak is continuously looking for him, it's very hard for CeeDee Lamb to be successful. And that's what I mean by they need that number one explosive receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb. Because CeeDee Lamb, you know, he's good and all, but I don't see him as that creator that can just that can depend on you one-on-one. I'm going to throw it up. I know you're going to be open. I know you're going to beat that guy. And I think that's a part of the problem right there with the Cowboys, along with a host of other things. You know what I mean?
Right. I think it's a host of other things. I think, first of all, starting with the coach. He's so quiet. Like how you just told me, hey, man, it's exciting time. Let's go. Energy is everything. He just so lethargic and quiet over there. I'm not even sure he matches. And then after that, it's almost like they're coming in with the mindset of we're the Cowboys. Things are going to go right for us. Dak Prescott going to throw a touchdown. As soon as they don't, now we're down by 7. Oh, now we're down by 14. And it's looked like a whole different team. They're totally out of their midst. They're not used to coming from behind. It's no dog. It's no screw this. You don't see nobody yell. It's just they're just out there lost. Like, look, everybody's in chase mode. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just the cornerback's in chase mode. Is it Stephon Gilmore out there?
Yeah.
He's in chase mode.
That's my boy. If you don't understand what EP's saying, he's saying all the defensive players in chase mode. In order to make a play, you can't be chasing. You can't just chase. You have to anticipate and put yourself in the right position to make a play. And if you're chasing, that's all you're doing. You're chasing to make a tackle, and that's what it looked like to you, right, brother?
Right. It's nobody ahead of the play. It's nobody see this play coming and knocking somebody out or intercepting the ball or even the D-line. They're like hoping to get there. Nobody's like ahead of the game. And it just seems like, honestly, bro, it just seems like they thought it was just going to come easy. And it's almost like boxing. Like you come out, oh, this is gonna be an easy fight, and somebody just come and rush you and punch you in the mouth. You like, whoa. Whoa. You kind of like, and that's how they was like.
They thought it was gonna be handed to them, man. This is the playoffs, man. I think I missed the playoffs maybe one season out of my 11 years. You know what I mean? And to play in the playoffs, that first game is it's a different season. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different intensity. And they were totally flat. This was not the playoff game for them. This was the game before the bye week for the playoff game. This was that game where everybody supposed to be resting and chilling. That's how they came out. They did not play like Jerry Jones is going to fire everybody the next day. They wasn't worried. I don't know. Jerry Jones, he made it loud and clear that everybody is only safe until this last game. And we will see how this last game, and nobody played like that. If y'all didn't catch that fire that he was throwing at y'all, man, listen.
Man. Jones was more intense on his post-game interview than the whole team was.
Yeah.
His eyes was red. Like, I had never seen this before. Like, we just want, he basically what Jerry Jones was saying is like, we got the players. I put up the money. And ain't nobody showed up. I've never seen this before.
Nobody showed up, you know what I mean? And it's just crazy. At the worst time of the season, this is the biggest moment of the Dallas Cowboys' future. The franchise. Like, we expect to win a Super Bowl. Jerry Jones understands he don't have too much longer in his life. You know what I mean? Me and you, we halfway there. So Jerry Jones is what? Lord have mercy. This man won a Super Bowl. And that goes to the next subject. He won a Super Bowl so bad that I think I have a strong inclination that Jerry Jones is willing to hire Bill Belichick to be the next head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, y'all hear me give a lot of flack and talk a lot of crap about the past and how Belichick operates and things like that. But for this situation, I don't know. This might be a pretty good situation that Belichick can deal with and everybody can handle and maneuver. The first problem is don't give him all the control. That will be the main problem. You hire him to be the Dallas Cowboys coach. You know, you protect Dak Prescott. You protect a couple players because he's going to get rid of some players. Jerry Jones, you keep doing your thing or bring in a GM, but don't give him all the power. And I think he can help with a little discipline, a little attitude. Yes, he has to change some of his ways, but I think this relationship could work out. Obviously, he has to bring in a very good, solid offensive coordinator. My wish would always be Josh McDaniels come back with Bill Belichick and recreate that magic. But I really think that would be a good fit. I don't know how everybody will perceive it and things like that, but it can work out. It just have to put some limitations around him. You can't give him all the power and all the credit, and you have to understand changes will be made. You know what I mean? What you think about that? What you think about it?
You see, hey, you woke me up. My eyes went like, hey, that's a good one. But let me tell you why it makes sense. It makes all the sense. First of all, let's just go tag on what you talked about for a long time. You said Bill Belichick, I'm paraphrasing on your synopsis of him over the years, is that he may not be the greatest coach of all time, but he's a great coach. But he's the kind of coach where it's just not him. He need players.
Right.
What did Dallas got? They got the players.
They got the players.
Bring them in, right?
And the players, and like I talk about, the defense, the discipline. Defense got caught playing with their eyes instead of doing their assignments. The first thing he's going to do is bring in discipline. Right. You know, we have meetings at 8 and 9 o'clock. A lot of the times when I first went to another team, people come rolling in those meetings late. They'd be there like 8:05, 8:03. Those small little details determine how good you would be. You know what I mean? And those small details of discipline that he can bring to the Cowboys, I think it can help and be a tremendous help to them in trying to get to the big goal of the Super Bowl, because discipline is the downfall from a lot of teams. Just small details and doing your assignments. You know what I mean? And I think that's where Belichick strives at best, getting the small details out of his players, making sure everyone understands the smallest things to help the team be successful. Like you say, the talent is there. Get your role players, make them understand their role, and let the talent take over. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that'll be a good one.
I think Belichick going there, it'll be good. I think he'll bring in what you're saying, the discipline. This is what he's going to take away the Cowboys thing, all the hype. We not the Cowboys. They think we the Cowboys. We just a football team. We America's team, but he's not going to let them believe that, right? He's going to go there and zero out everything.
That's the first thing he's going to say. Football. Stop all that we America's team shitting and stop talking to the media. I don't want to hear nothing about no Super Bowl. We worry about the next game, and they're going to have a different mindset just like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what they need, man. They really they need an overhaul of everything. Like the Hall of Famer Michael Irvin woke up, get rid of everybody. He want to get rid of everything. He's sick of it because every year he get up there on TV and embarrass himself, making himself looking foolish, talking about they gonna win the Super Bowl, they finna go to the NFC Championship, and every year they losing right off the rip. The first round, they shouldn't even be playing in the first round. How good and how much talent they got. They should be in the bye week. You know what I mean? But it's terrible.
And how about this too? I think McDaniel's good. You know, they can bring that whole system over. But I'm a fan of Byron Leftwich going in at offensive coordinator. And the reason why is because Byron, he's a student of the game. You already know we played against him in college. He's gonna pass the ball. But then he came in and won that Super Bowl and worked alongside Tom Brady. Right?
That's right.
So the system is there. He's a young guy, gonna bring a lot of energy. And I think Byron Leftwich would be a great offensive coordinator in that system. And my last thing I'm going to say on it is you're 100% right. Do not tell Belichick, hey, you are only coming in to instill discipline and be the head coach. No more. You're not in charge
of player personnel. You're not in charge of salary cap. You ain't even started nothing and worry about none of that stuff. We're going to play the players that are good. We're going to take care of everybody, and everybody going to be happy, man. You know what I mean?
You can cuss them out as much as you want.
Right. That's a good point, though. That was a good synopsis, like you said, of Brian Leftwich and his history and just coming from Tom Brady and having that whole experience, because that can do a lot for you. I'm telling you, it's Tom Brady that makes everybody better. It's not the Belichick and the coaching style. But my question would be, can Belichick deal with Brian Leftwich as an offensive coordinator and not have no ill will towards him, not want to control him, not feel a certain way? Because that's what all I see with Belichick. You know, if you start doing so good, and you start getting notoriety and people talking about you and teams inquiring about you, that's when the nonsense and the craziness starts. So, but man, listen, if he did give an opportunity, Bill Belichick changed his ways. He can hire Brian Leftwich. He can hire Josh McDaniels. He can hire a few people, and I think that can work for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. That's the last chance that I can see for Jerry Jones. I don't see no other chance. But on the other hand, it seems like all the old coaches are starting to lead the NFL, and it's a resurgence of new coaches starting. We got the Mike McDaniels, the DeMeco Ryans. Who else we got, man? We got a slew of new and young coaches that start. Antonio Pierce. So I think in the next 3 to 4 years, we're gonna have a rush of young coaches taking over, and all the old coaches stuck in their old ways will be gone. You know, the Belichicks, the Pete Carroll's retired. You got the Nick Saban. He can't deal with the new NIL deals. That's what they're saying. He can't recruit against that, so he don't want to deal with it. So it's going to be some young energy coming in to these colleges and these NFL teams, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. We might need to put our hat in there, man. You know, go take over a team. You know what I mean?
Hey, if what they said, my son asked me the other day, Dad, won't you just coach? You're great at it, because I had the last minute coach on the basketball team, and but we was great. I just instilled this other team was so. I'm jumping off subject, but the other team was so good. They had like 6 foot 10-year-olds, but we stuck it out and we almost won, bro. Everybody was surprised. So at the end of the day, people are jumping in the coaches, and I think it is a change. Even if we jumped in that zone right now, you'll be amazed on how much of an impact
that energy we'll bring will take over, because it ain't about that old stuff. It ain't got no ill will towards nobody. I want everybody to be successful, and leaders do what leaders do. They make everybody around them better. That's the one thing people are missing and don't understand about these leaders and coaches and stuff like that. You got to be able to lead, man, and make everyone around you better. And that's
Hey, Prime did it. Hey, listen, that's one thing Prime did. He was like, "No, I'm not coaching. I'm just coaching my sons." And he waited all the way till his son went to college and say, "Hey, I'm a coach." And bam, $30 million later.
And if he could go to the NFL, if the Falcons would hire him right now, he would take that job and he would select his sons, Shedeur Sanders with the first pick, and then Silo Sanders with the second pick. Goddamn it! I'm telling you, that's exactly what would happen.
Do you think any calls from Dallas? Like, you think that happened at all?
They was talking about that, but like I said, man, they need that discipline. They don't need that wow factor. They need someone that can get it out of them, get it out of them. You know what I mean? Because you have a bunch of superstars. And like I talk about this, we talked about this several times. The role players, you need role players to win championships. And I think obviously that's what Bill Belichick going to create. He loves role players, you know what I mean? So he's going to establish the role players. He's going to keep the stars there and don't relinquish all the power to him. And man, I think that's a recipe for success. You know what I mean? Jerry Jones, better go for it. He's on that, if y'all ain't heard, Bill Belichick was in the Virgin Islands on that super yacht with Arthur Blank. So, you know, I know the Atlanta Falcons, that coach right there. I know we don't want him in Atlanta, but hey, Arthur Blank seemed like
Bill don't want to be in Atlanta. That's too much for him. Like Atlanta, he don't even match in Atlanta. Where would he stay at?
With somewhere in Gwinnett. He probably stay close to Arthur Blank.
Right.
Hey, but Cam Newton, man. Cam Newton, bring your butt to the front of the stage, boy, because these embarrassing remarks you made, I ain't gonna forget about it. If you don't know nothing about Asante Samuel, when somebody say something, make a bold and loud statement, I'm gonna remember it and I'm gonna keep bringing it up and over and over and over until somebody make an apology. And I think you need to make that apology, sir. And if y'all don't remember, Cam Newton had the audacity to put Tom Brady in the same category as a Dak Prescott and a Tua Tagovailoa. He compared Tom Brady, the greatest ever, to two guys that can't even win a playoff game. This should be a shame. He should be ashamed of himself. You know what? Cam Newton, he should be on punishment from podcasting for a whole month for that ridiculous take he tried to throw out there. You know what I mean? And people getting on these podcasts and think they can say whatever they want. We need to do something. Need to be standards. That you need to be on punishment for a month for that ridiculous. Don't you ever put the greatest ever in the same categories with Dak Prescott, Tua Tagovailoa, talking about game management because you played quarterback. You want to justify the words and twist it around and make it sound all beautiful and neat. No, boy, that was wrong. That was outrageous. That was insane. That was terrible. You need to apologize, or the podcast gods are coming down and putting you on punishment for a month, because Tom Brady should never be in the same category with Tua Tagovailoa and a Dak Prescott. Now, you had a lot to say about this now, brother, so go ahead. Defend your hometown homie, because y'all looking real bad right now. Mr. 1, 2, 3, he can't create past 1, 2, 3. His limitations is only that. Dak Prescott, he don't even seem like he's concerned. He don't seem like he got a dog in him. Don't seem like he gonna bite you or nothing. He just seem like you could push him down, do anything to him, and they don't care. Tua Tagovailoa asking for the jersey after the game, after they lost. You know, it just look all bad. I didn't grow up in this era. This is just crazy, man. What a dog's at?
Hey, man, well, let me tell you, man, you know how it is. Week 8, 9, when a lot are not on the line and it's fun and the sun out, you got the front runners, and the front runners, Tua and Dak, everybody was on their side, right? But when you look back at it, Tom Brady was a dog. Like, it wasn't even close.
I'm so mad that he was able to make that statement, and he knew he was making a statement to go viral. And I just hate that he was able to put Tom Brady in the name. People could say anything because everybody got a mic and a mouth, and it's just ridiculous. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Hey, nah, you good. But you know, it reminds me of when you say call him to the table, we ain't forgot what you said. You can't just sweep it up under the rug. It's the dude, Colin. Colin
Cowherd.
Yeah. So his bit is going around too of how terrible Houston Texans and how terrible the quarterback over there is going to be, right? And they going in on him like he went in on how it's just a disaster And it's like, wow.
Right.
What Houston's doing right now is like, it is
It's
amazing.
crazy.
And it's making them look so bad.
That's what
And
y'all got to
waiting,
do. Hey,
I'm
and
waiting to
that's
see.
what we
I'm
got
waiting
to
to
do.
see somebody say.
That's why I wanted to start this podcast, say what needs to be said. Y'all bring all that stuff to our attention because we're going to hold people accountable. I don't care if you said it a year ago, myself, my co-host, whoever said it, we all going to be held accountable. You can't just be going out here making these crazy statements, irregular statements, and just saying anything and thinking people supposed to forget about it. No, we're going to bring it back up. You're going to answer to this, and you're going to be held accountable because we don't even allow you just to come out here and say anything. Yeah, I want to see how does Cam Newton explain that a Tom Brady deserves to be mentioned in the same category as these two quarterbacks that can't even win a playoff game. They're getting blown out, looking ridiculous, man.
Right.
Oh, man, that stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cam got to come up. Cowherd got to come. I'm waiting to see Colin Show come on and say, you know what, I got it wrong with CJ Stroud. I apologize. Like, I'm waiting for that because you can't just say stuff that sounds good. You got to say stuff that really, especially when you played the game. I get Colin. He ain't played, but Cam played the game. And nobody's ever knocking
Is
Brady
Cam a
on
diva?
anything.
Y'all let me know in the comments, in the chat. Is Cam a diva? Cam Newton just sound like a diva, you know what I mean?
Hey, why you say chat? Why you say chat? Our chat is going in right now. I like.
Get in them chats, man. Y'all get in them chats, man. Y'all let us know what's going on, man, because it's ridiculous, man. I feel like he's a diva, and divas need that attention. You know what I mean? Come change it to the chat. But moving right along. Lions versus the Rams. Wow, that was a pretty good game, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize the trade between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, man, this will probably go down as one of the biggest trades in the history for these organizations. And you know what I mean? LA Rams, they traded for Matthew Stafford from the Lions, and in return, they acquired Jared Goff from the LA Rams. If y'all don't remember, I think it was back in 2019, 2020 or something like that. And before that, before the trade, the franchise, the Lions, before they made that trade, they had only won one playoff game since the Super Bowl era. And that was in 1991. You know what I mean? That's how bad this organization has been since this trade. Now, Matthew Stafford, he's at the Lions, and Jared Goff. I mean, Matthew Stafford is at the Rams, and now Jared Goff is at the Lions. The Rams got what they needed from Matthew Stafford. They won a championship. We traded. We got Matthew Stafford from the Lions. We conquered a Super Bowl. Now, we got your hand-me-downs. We got Jared Goff. But guess what? We're headed to we're close to being an NFC champion. We haven't won a playoff game since 1991. We have an opportunity to be NFC champs in the NFL. So this will go down as one of the best trades in the history of these franchises. If people don't realize it, and Jared Goff, he may take a little longer to develop and become a champion, and that's what it takes. And that's big kudos to Detroit Lions and their offensive coordinator. I think it was Ben Johnson, or I think he did a great job developing and refurbishing Jared Goff's career. You know what I mean? He was over there at the LA Rams. They felt like he wasn't that type of a champion quarterback. He couldn't really get the job done. And look at him now, right now, with this renowned, instilled confidence in himself, making crucial throws in critical plays on third down when the game is on the line. He's letting it fly, hitting his man right on target. And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I might not be good over here, but I'm a good player. Give me another opportunity. Send me to someone that can develop me, a team that's that want to be good, that's looking for greatness. And they're doing a good job with Jared Goff, man. So two teams, they got exactly what they need. The LA Rams won a championship, won a Super Bowl after acquiring Matthew Stafford. Now Jared Goff and the Lions have their chance and their opportunity to go out there and do something special for that city who deserves some positivity. You know what I mean? Shout out to Detroit, man, and Sauce Gardner. You know what I mean?
Hey, we coming with Sauce in a second. But listen, I love Detroit. I love the most. I'm an underdog guy. I've been an underdog my whole entire
We
life.
all been underdog. We went to
Right.
UCF, man. Everybody went
Right.
to UCF out there as an underdog, man.
Right. But you had a scholarship to Georgia, but you just chose UCF. So
I wouldn't have went to UCF if I had that scholarship. But they could have dropped that scholarship while I took that thing. I probably never played in my life, but I would have had a scholarship in Georgia, boy.
But no, I love the Detroit right now. They're the underdog favorite. Every season always one underdog, and I root for the underdogs. And their coach said he threw some shade like, "Hey, Goff, you're good enough for us," and gave him the game ball, right?
Exactly.
But let me tell you why I think he's good enough. I think they got the better part of the deal, or not even say good deal, because you can't take away what Stafford did and came and got a Super Bowl. But think about it. Stafford left Detroit historically losing system, program, or whatever,
right,
and goes to a loaded team. That D-line, that defense that year, that defense he went and won on was absolutely loaded. Like that D-line that's when Aaron Donald was a beat. He's still good, but he was unstoppable at that point, right?
They had a mandatory 2 to 3 people blocking Aaron Donald at that time. Every play, mandatory.
Every play.
Right.
And then Cooper Kupp was in his prime doing it.
Yeah.
They just had a lot of weapons.
They had Jalen Ramsey. They had a stacked team, man. They had a very stacked team. You're right. But that's what it's saying. That's what they felt like. They had a stacked team, but Jared Goff wasn't the one that can get him over the hump. So they needed to get rid of him and brought in Matthew Stafford. And that's why it makes, the best trade or the biggest trade for both of these franchises ever in the history of the organization. And the other thing that people fail to realize, Jared Goff led the LA Rams to the Super Bowl. He was in the playoffs multiple times. He fell short. So with that being said, Detroit Lions is getting a well-groomed quarterback with a lot of experience. He's ready for these moments. He's been in these moments. He knows what it feels like to not come up on the winning end of the stick in these moments. So he's prepared. He has that fire in him to show the world, to show itself that he can do this, that he can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback when a quarterback just come replace me and win the Super Bowl that I wasn't able to do. So you got to understand, when people have that fire in them, you got to watch out, man, because they could play. He could play. And Ben Johnson, like I said, he's doing a hell of a job with him over there. That confidence, I see it. He's doing a great job. And your boy, man, we got to talk about the running back. I'll let you talk about him. Graham, I just love that kid, man. Forget his name.
Kyron, who you talking about?
No, from Detroit.
Oh, yes, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, I said Graham.
Yeah.
Gibbs, man, I love, man. Gibbs is going to be an awesome, hell of a player. That little shiftiness, explosiveness he got, that's the difference. A lot of people had that shiftiness, the Barry Sanders, the LaShawn McCoy, but he has that shiftiness and explosiveness with it. Right. I can imagine, man, that kid was a track runner, a track star, or something like that. But you better watch out for him, man.
Right. He reminds me of like a Marshall Faulk. Remember Marshall Faulk back in the day, 1-2 and go get through slippery. He reminds me of that. But he's a dog with it though. Like he's tough. Like he ain't shying away from no hits. He's getting up. He's just a solid running back, man. And like I don't know if a lot of people know his story, but he was a dog. Georgia, he was at Georgia Tech. And Georgia was primarily a running team, like wing tee, all this stuff, grinding. Last year, he got out of there and went over to Alabama and had a solid year, real good year.
Yeah.
Now
he's not the biggest guy in the world, man. Just tough and solid, man. You know what I mean? Got that slim, strong frame. You know, that slim, strong, explosive frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I like him. I just like watching him play. He pops out on the screen. You always look for players who pop out. You can just see like, oh, that kid pops out on the screen,
Yeah. And for the Rams, man, oh man, I thought they was gonna do pretty good, but they just started off too flat. Same way like the Cowboys. They let Detroit just come right down on the first drive, which is scripted usually most of the time, and just smash it right down their throat. And we can't do that. You can't do that in the playoffs in this season. You know what I mean? The regular season, you get away with it. But in the playoff season, you can't do that. You got to step up. You got to be physical. Got to set those edges, and they wouldn't do that. But in the second half, they tried to come back and make adjustments, but it was a little too late. You left the ball in Jared Goff's hands, and he executed. Third down. Defense trying to make a play. Jared Goff executed. And it led to, them taking the knee and winning the game. But man, that Puka Nacua, man.
Oh yeah.
And Matthew Stafford, man. I love that kid, man. He reminds me, I don't know if y'all remember Austin Miles used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. They had those big, solid, kind of like a Deebo Samuel. So all these guys in the same category, just hard to tackle. They get so many yards from not beating you on the route and being explosive. They're beating you from yak. You know what I mean? And it looks so good because they just sliding and bouncing off you, man. And it's not because of they're doing anything special. It's just how they're built and their balance. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Matthew and Puka Nacua, man. They couldn't advance, but y'all gotta, Puka. Matthew, I don't know how much longer he's playing, but Puka future is looking great, boy. You know what I mean?
Hey, as a DB, when you got a guy like that, like I remember Miles Austin, he'll get a sneaky 215 in a game, right? He was real sneaky with it, but like you said, it was because of yak. So as a DB, when he catch the ball, are you thinking like, I got to get this joker down, or
I'm coming? It's like when you already know in your mind, you come with all your force, all your might, all your weight. You're trying to hold him and pull him down because you understand this is like a running back at wide receiver. And if I go up there and like it's a regular receiver and think this is a regular tackle, like most of the skinny receivers in the NFL, you're going to have a bad grade when you're graded by your coaches. So you coming with all your might, man, and you're trying to wrap those legs out. But for some reason, you just bounce off. I even seen the defensive lineman, big number 97 from the Detroit Lions, bouncing off him as a defensive end, just straight bounced off him. It's like, some players just have that special tool in their toolbox that they can get away with. You know what I mean? And he happened to be one of them. Him, Miles Austin, and Deebo Samuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it. It's almost like a decision every time, and you mentally fatigued because you're not even used to tackling as a DB, especially, and all of a sudden you got to get 8 tackles. He got 8 receptions. You got 8 tackles.
You looking for help? Like, what a help at to help me get this boy down? Like, hey, I'm a DB. I'm usually the smaller guy. You know what I mean? Help me out a little bit. You know what I mean? But now let's move on to the Dolphins. The Dolphins versus the Chiefs. Mr. 1, 2, 3 does never let me down. Mr. 1, 2, 3, he's going to hold up. He's going to stick to his name. You know what I mean? Tua Tagovailoa, Mr. 1, 2, 3. His limitations and how he ran that offense, we all seen it. You know what I mean? He is very limited in what he can do. And I don't, it bothers me because I'm kind of torn on both sides. Is it because that's how he prepared and he's taught 1, 2, 3 to let it go? Can this be fixed? Or that's as far as his skills can take him in the NFL. You know what I mean? Because for me, I feel like these little things can be fixed and help Tua be successful. First of all, they got to get more protection. They had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. But as far as him being Mr. 1, 2, 3 and not being able to compensate for anything else other than that, if the guy's not open or the perfect play is that design is not open, I think if they work on that in practice and continue to make him go to his second and third reads and put pressure on his face, I don't know, man. Mike McDaniels is the guy that I believe that can get that fixed. But for now, it just seems horrible, man. It just seems like it is what it is. He's not going to get no better than this. And that's all he depending on. And then it's like it's crazy because you keep looking for not Tua, but you keep looking for Tyreek Hill. Like he's 6'5". We know he's the fastest guy in the league, but he's not 6'5". He's not going to be able to jump up and be the bigger body on some of these passes. And Tua depends on that, even at the craziest situations. You know what I mean? Tyreek is a fast, explosive guy to get him the ball in open field. You have to look for a bigger receiver like number 11. I know what I mean. He started trying to do that longer towards the end of the season, but you had to develop that chemistry early in the season. He was all caught up with Tyreek Hill, man, and it caught up with him, and it showed tremendously in these crucial games, these playoff games. And it ended not so good. It ended as you being Mr. 1, 2, 3, can't take it to 4, 5, 6, If you take it to 4, 5, 6, it's gonna be a turnover every time. Man, that sucked, man. That sucked, man.
Man,
You know what I mean?
let me tell you, with Tua, first of all, let's not ignore the fact I didn't think. I don't know how many people besides Baba, he probably thought they was gonna go up there and win. I don't know how many people thought Miami was go there and win, and it didn't really have nothing to do with talent. What it had to do with it was going up there in that cold weather, and you in Miami, you in Florida. Those are all the whole roster became Florida boys, and you went up in that weather. So he was a betting guy. You was gonna straight up say, I'm just gonna bet my money that they're not gonna overcome negative 20-degree weather. That's it. Let's start there. Now, to overcome that, your quarterback needs to be a leader and a guy. You can't go up there and
a creator.
Because there's no answer. Zon, it's no answer on how to make a play. You can't practice it. There's nothing, no answer how to make a play in negative 20-degree weather. It's all mental. So
the ball is hard.
Your leader?
The field is hard. Everybody's hands is froze. Snot. You see Andy Reid's mustache, his snot coming down. Everything froze up like icicles. So, like you said, there's no answer. Only thing we can do is try to present plays that we think may work, but we don't know what's going to work. So y'all got to go out there and make playmakers and create. And man, you took the Miami Dolphins, the South Florida team, to the cold. And it showed, man, and it started with Tua, man. He, just him gripping the ball. I don't think I understand. It's very hard, especially if you're a smaller, a littler guy with not so much big extremities, hands. In this case, it's hard to grip that ball and throw it, and that was obvious. Even though they was throwing a lot of short, quick passes, it's still very hard, especially for a quarterback like Tua. Now we got Patrick Mahomes on the other side. He used to it. He slaying that thing left and right like it's nothing, baby. You know what I mean? So it's different talents,
It's different. It's different mentalities. You got Patrick Mahomes embracing it. He thinks that's his advantage. This is our house. So he's getting up on saying they're not going to be used to this, or we love this. So it's all mental, man. And then that's why the difference is having a dog that can get through that. The coldest weather I ever played in when we went to play Green Bay, and it was 11 degrees, -1 chill factor at night. So it was cold, but negative 20 and 30, that's a whole nother level. And I think that was it. But here's the problem, Zant. Let's go a little bit deeper if you don't mind. That's why in the season towards the end, you cannot afford to start losing games. Tua, that's why you got to win the AL. You got to win your division. You got to win out. You can't say, oh, well, we're still in the playoffs. No, because now you have to travel.
Now you got
to messed up though. You got to travel. You needed that home game. You had everything set up for you to be right there in Miami playing that home.
Have home field advantage. Like you said, that's a mouthful. Like I said, I've been to the playoffs 10 years out of my 11-year career. And most of the time when we won the championships and the Super Bowls and the AFC championships, we had home field advantage. Everybody had to come to New England to play in the cold, where it's freezing, it's snowing on the ground everywhere. The owners, Mr. Kraft and Bill Belichick, not even fixing the field the proper way. The NFLPA sending letters and threats talking about fix the field. So that's the importance of winning the AFC East championship, having home field advantage, trying to be the #1 seed in the AFC. And Miami Dolphins clearly had that chance. All they had to do was beat the Buffalo Bills. And that's when it all started. Beat the Buffalo Bills, home field advantage. You play your first game at home, your AFC champs, you know what I mean? AFC East champs, and you can't seize the moment. This is front-running teams. All these teams, the Cowboys and the Dolphins, are front-running teams. They want to play good in the regular season, want to get all the glory, get all this MVP hype, get all the beautiful numbers. But when you put some dogs in front of them and it's time to line up and dog eating the dog world, who's going to win? What are you going to do? What dog is going to step up? And I don't think the Dolphins have that dog mentality, because it's led from your quarterback. Birds of a feather flock together. If Tom Brady's not a dog, if he's soft, he's not that leader, we don't follow that lead. I mean, we follow that league. That's a part of our environment, and that's who we become. You know what I mean? So that's what it is over there. You know what I mean? Everybody want to bash the media and the commentators when we talking about the quarterbacks and the team, because we know what we talking about. We know y'all quarterbacks and y'all team ain't finna do nothing. You know what I mean? Y'all can be sensitive all you want. It is what it is. Until y'all fix the problems, that's the only way you're going to win. I want the Dolphins to win. I want to be down here partying.
Right.
But y'all ain't going to win with Tua. And I'm just telling you that unless you could figure out how to get him past that Mr. 1, 2, 3 and learn how to figure out and find more reads and be patient in the pocket. But that's my little rant for Dolphins, man. And
Well, here's the thing with Tua too, is you look back at Tua, look at him as his history, right? He was in Alabama, right? He took over Jalen Hurts
with some dogs.
But he had dogs already on the team.
Straight dogs.
All you got to do is throw the ball up. That's it. In Alabama, that was all you had to do. He was fine with ABC 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what Saban wanted him to do.
That's all you needed to do. You had Henry Ruggs. You had Jalen Waddle. Who else? These two of the fastest guys.
Your boy in Philly. He had your boy in Philly, the skinny one in Philly.
Devontae Smith.
He had all of them.
Player.
Come on, man.
You know what? That's a good point. It's a good point. So he basically was drafted in the first round, top 5 pick because of the talent around him.
Right.
Like, so anybody could go out there and make those plays and throw those balls to that talent, man, especially in the college level. You know what I mean?
So it just transitioned. So now he's in Miami and he's like, hey, Tyreek, I need somebody. Waddle. Hey, yes, I need my guys. But in the NFL, you need a little bit more than that. You need a little bit more than 1 or 2 or 3 guys. You need to be a dog back there. And he's out of his realm, I think. That's all that's going on. He's out of his realm.
Because that's the thing. Like you said, in college, you might have all the 5-star players on your team. You might be playing against 3-star, 4-stars. But guess what? When you get to the NFL, everybody a 5-star. Everybody is him. Everybody is that man. You know what I mean? Right. So you think it can't work like that. You have to have a different level of something about you to make you a successful player, an elite player in the NFL. You know, and the quarterback, that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? Right. But you know, it is what it is, man. I think for Tua, like I said, this is going to be his best season of his career. That's not a shot. He has over 4,500 yards. They made it to the playoffs, 29 touchdowns. So, you know, that's the best. Mike McDaniels was able to get the best he could out of Tua Tagovailoa. But the best that you can get out of Tua Tagovailoa is not the best for the Miami Dolphins to win a Super Bowl. But, you know, you can see, you know, if we can make some changes and try to fix some things, tweak some things. But the team can't get no more talent than what they are already, unless you add in the super fast tight end. But, you know, so I think that team is maxed out. And
they got some evaluating to do this offseason.
I had one scenario that I think could work that may be a little crazy. Hear this out. What do you think if the Miami Dolphins and Jerry Jones, they trade for Dak Prescott and move Dak to the Miami Dolphins? I think Dak can get it done. It's two situations. Both quarterbacks have one year left on the contract. I think Dak is due like 48 million.
48 million.
Crazy. Same situation with Tua is like 25 million. So they're looking at extensions. If Dak can get to the Dolphins, I think Dak can take the Dolphins with that offense and Mike McDaniels to glory, you know, to the Super Bowl. I really believe in that one. But I don't know about Tua.
He might be good up under Belichick. You never know. He might.
You know what? And that's the other point we forgot. We cannot forget that Jerry Jones has that pawn with Trey Lance right there that he traded from the 49ers a while back. In the so we don't know what Jerry Jones has that pawn for. Everybody thought it was to push Dak Prescott be the starting quarterback. I shut that down from the beginning. No, this is leverage piece for Jerry Jones to be able to combat negotiations with Dak Prescott. So I don't know how this is gonna pan out because you know you got Belichick might come in. They don't believe this guy's a championship guy. You know what I mean? So I think I want to see Dak. I want to see Dak Prescott to the Dolphins. Send Dak Prescott to the Dolphins. You win the Super Bowl. I believe in Dak at the Dolphins. Mike McDaniels could bring it out of him.
I could see that, and it got a lot to do with personalities too. I think that kind of tied of the Jerry Jones, and then he kind of lost confidence when you brought in Trey Lance. So he probably needs to get from up under that umbrella. And I also think Mike McDaniels is an outspoken, kind of fun guy, and Tua's kind of boring. Like he can't match energy. You bring Dak Prescott to Mike McDaniels, they match energy, they become best buddies. You take. Right. Then I don't know what to look like. You say, make him compete against Trey Lance, and then you save $25 million. That might not be bad. You might got some GM in your system over there, brother.
I got a lot of little something. I'm well rounded in a lot of places. You know what I mean? I just try not to touch too many plays because everybody be thinking I'm taking shots and I'm going at people. Being truthful and speaking my facts is not taking shots, man. I'm just speaking my truth and how I feel in life. Y'all got to stop being so sensitive out there. And we're going to get to that sensitive stuff. Y'all Twitter people be so sensitive on Twitter, you know what I mean? But yeah, so y'all look out for that. Dak Prescott to the Dolphins is a good idea. I think he could run that offense the way he need. He can get past the first and second read. He could create a little bit better, and he has more limitations than Tua. So, think about that in the future. You know what I mean? I put my GM hat on and we see how it's going to go. Now we got the Texans versus the Browns, man. The Texas versus Browns. What happened to the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns, I was expecting them to be to kind of show up like the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, but that defense let down. They shut Myles Garrett completely down. And I have a problem with Jim Schwartz and his defense. Yeah. He has a great defense. A lot of people say he has a great defense, this and that. But when your great defense is based off man-to-man, and all you can do is tell everybody to play man-to-man in the backfield, and that's how you draw up all your blitzes and stuff, that defense will get picked apart sooner or later. They're going to figure it out because everybody can't just play man-to-man. That's the hardest thing to do. All I need to do is create a little separation. The quarterback just throw the ball, one read and throw the ball. And then if the blitz not getting there, you know what I mean? You have 5-6 players on each play that have to cover man-to-man. And you want to think that each player is going to cover that play perfect. So I understand why the Browns fell short, because just depending on that in itself is too much. You got to be able to mix it up. You got to be able to confuse the quarterback. You got to be able to confuse the offensive coordinator on the opposing team. You got to be able to draw stuff up, not just by the blitz. Yeah, I can, figure out how to pick up the blitz, and I just know it's man-to-man back there every time. Just let it go. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem with the Browns on the defense side. Now on the opposite side, Joe Flacco, he looked like an old man this night. You know what I mean? He looked like his mechanics were off. He looks like very slow. He looked very slow. Looked like he didn't have any urgency. I know that's how he always looked. His mechanics are a little elongated and he's slow, but it just seemed he didn't have any urgency or any care for the game or he was just out of touch. Maybe he didn't get enough rest, but the oldness and, remember I talked about Joe Flacco in the beginning, why he's having success, because he didn't have to go to training camp, all those rigorous practices that's mentally just beating on you. He had a breath of fresh air, and he came in halfway through the season, rejuvenated, refreshed, and he was able to put that spark in. But you go too long, you know what I mean, and then starting to wear down on you. That's what it looked like with Joe Flacco. Just no urgency. The mechanics are off, and just lackadaisical out there, man. That's what I saw from the Browns. But man-to-man, you can't depend on that on the defensive side of the ball. Man-to-man, blitz, thinking everybody going to cover everybody perfect every time. It's not going to work.
Right. Well, listen, I told you. The determining factor last time we talked about the Cleveland Browns, because they blew out the Texans, was C.J. Stroud. He did not play that game. I already knew it.
He did
not play that game.
God, dog.
Right. That was a determining factor. But when you look down at it, like you say, Myles Garrett, he great pass rusher, but he didn't have an explosive game. And Lerman Tunsil got hurt, like second quarter on a field goal. The offensive tackle got hurt. He still didn't have that explosive game. But overall, it was just, I want to say one-sided. Like, they just can't keep up. It was different players for Houston coming out there playing too. Brevin Jordan, the tight end, went for like 80 yards, and they had 2 pick sixes on Flacco.
Right.
And Flacco, I think it was in you know how it is, when you throw somebody in the mid-season, first year guys, it's all what they call it, that kind of instant success because they haven't gotten your tendencies yet.
Luck.
We haven't
luck, that beginner's luck.
We haven't studied you yet. We haven't gotten your tendencies. We don't know that you like to throw to the left 62% of, even though you didn't pay attention to none of this stuff in your meetings in the DB room. I got it. But the tendencies of 60% versus 20% to the right, making them blitz him on his left hand, his strong, all that stuff, they had it. They got it analyzed. The analytics went in, and that's what made him look old out there because he couldn't adjust. That's why you have to be in shape, is to adjust on the go. He couldn't adjust. He was still
How old is he, man? He got to be about 45. Is it 45?
I don't think he's that old.
He got the longest release of them all. It just takes forever. And all of that, if you slow that down, the 3-step drop with the slow release, no urgency, he just looked totally slow and out of it. But like you said, CJ Stroud was not there that first game. And let me tell you, CJ Stroud, you give CJ Stroud a little bit of time. He don't need much. He was, like you said, one of those guys I was talking about, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes. You give him a little bit of time, he's going to buy a little bit more time and find that open guy every time. His release is so quick and beautiful, along with the accuracy. CJ Stroud is someone to be reckoned with coming up in the future. But listen, I get mixed up. I think I said Detroit was playing the Ravens. Texans play the Ravens, and that's going to be I think I said Green Bay or something probably, but the Texans play the Ravens. Now that's going to be a crucial game. If CJ Stroud can show up and be successful against this Ravens defense, man, this man is really him. I want to say another thing about CJ Stroud. Being that he won his first game, I know we say the MVP should go to Lamar Jackson and all that stuff. Yeah, he is well deserving, and he is the top candidate for that. But I wouldn't be mad, and I wouldn't be wrong. I wouldn't feel the type of way if they did some type of co-MVP, gave half to Lamar Jackson and half to CJ Stroud. Because CJ Stroud, I think he deserved some type of MVP recognition. No, you don't deserve it over Lamar Jackson, but it's right there. So if they made him co-MVPs, I wouldn't be too mad because he's winning the playoff game. And then if he goes and upset the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, that'd be a good reason to give him the MVP. Right. But go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna have to call you out when you're wrong, bro.
Okay, talk to me.
This is wrong right here. You called that man Joe Flacco 45. He is 38 years old, dog. He is not 45. Wow. You gave him almost.
Well, bro, all I could see in my mind is the slow wind up, and then I see him on the sideline like this, falling asleep like that, with the gray hairs. When you don't want to go to the barbershop and get a full haircut, you just be like, cut me down real quick with the gray hairs with a cut down. He had a one. When you been doing the one on the beard, you know what I mean? He doing the one. And did you see him? He was like this, literally falling asleep on the sideline.
He tired, man. He used to go to sleep at that time. But I get it. That's stuff you gave my boy 45. But back to CJ though. The reason why CJ is so dynamic, man, because I think he has all the basic tools. He's gonna check it down when he needs to. He's gonna throw the slant routes, but he also has the dog to throw it deep at any moment. He's just not scared. So he only got 5 picks this year, but got the most passes over 30 yards. What that tell you?
He ain't scared to let it fly. He gonna let it fly. And he said something in one of his statements, one of his interviews I was watching. He was saying, the plays that look like they're not going to be there, and you're scared to throw it, and you think they're going to be interception. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be interceptions, and he's not scared to let it fly. Man, that's kudos to him. He understand that game. That's what you call about a gunslinger. You know what he say? Right. Steph Curry, he gonna keep shooting. He's always that's how he live. That's his motto at quarterback. I'm gonna keep shooting. I'm gonna keep letting it fly, regardless of what happened, because I'm confident in myself. That's how you have to be in life as an athlete, living life, trying to win life. You have to be confident and believe in yourself. Believe that you did all the due diligence you need in preparing for whatever it is to prepare for. Your goals are set. They're nice. They're clear. You know what you want. You prepared tremendously. You're ready. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta attack life, man. You know what I mean? So I like that CJ Stroud kid. I'm a big fan, baby.
Yeah, I like him. He's cool, calm, collective. He's gonna make the plays, even on the plays he missed. Like last night? He threw a 40-yard dude wide open. He overthrew him by like 4 yards. And he just smiled. But guess what? You overthrew him. Nobody. I'm coming. What you think is that? Oh, I'm hitting that next time.
Right. Oh yeah. He's so mad at himself, and then he's like, come back and I'll make the play next time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Twitter family. All right, we gotta bring this to the attention. You know what I mean? Twitter family. If y'all ain't realized, go look it up. Sauce Gardner and myself, Mr. Pick Six himself, the king, the big dog. You know what I mean? This DB stuff, this cornerback stuff. We had another little spat. If they don't understand, everybody always feel like I'm taking shots. I'm just advocating like I've been doing from the beginning. I advocate for players that don't get the respect that deserve the respect and don't get it. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm doing, advocating. And everyone was in a frenzy because I said, I think the All-Pro and the Pro Bowl should have standards. You should have at least one interception to be considered an All-Pro. And everybody just went crazy. And Sauce Gardner, he tweeted me saying, man, I see you keep subtweeting at me because he had 0 picks and 9 pass breakups. So he feels I'm talking about him. I've been doing this way before you, young man. You know what I mean? So we got to understand, stop being so sensitive that I'm advocating. I'm not picking on no one. If I bring up picks, it's not about nobody. It's in general. So Sauce, it's not about you, brother. It's about the players that should get the respect they deserve. And I felt like Darius Stingley didn't get his respect he deserved this year. I felt like he should have been in an Pro Bowl, All-Pro somewhere off his season this year. He played very well, and he was creating turnovers and making plays and not giving up passes. That's what's important. You know what I mean? Making plays and not giving up passes. He ended up with 5 interceptions. That was great. And they're in the playoffs. So they're playing on a good playoff team. And last year, it was all about last year. Every year is different. We're not saying Tyreek Woolen is better than Sauce Gardner this year. Last year he was. I'm not evaluating this year. I'm talking about Darius Stingley. So I wasn't hating on him last year. I was give Sauce Gardner his respect. I don't care. Everybody gets their respect. But Tyreek Woolen deserves some respect last year, and he didn't get the respect. So that's all it is about. You know what I mean? Sauce Gardner, you get whatever you deserve, whatever God got for you, brother. I have no problem with it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to always advocate for players that don't get the respect they deserve. And I think Darius Stingley was one of those players. Listen, I had 10 interceptions in the regular season, 2 in the playoffs, like 2 touchdowns. I gave up like less than 300 yards passing. I didn't make a Pro Bowl. I didn't make All-Pro. I didn't make nothing. If I had someone advocating for me the way I advocate for the young players, everything would have been fine. I would have felt good about the situation, knowing that someone had my back and understood that I'm being overlooked and disrespected and not recognized for that was one of the best seasons of a cornerback in the NFL history. I'm the only cornerback that graded in the 93 threshold, and that's the facts. But they will say someone other cornerback had the best year of the NFL because the powers to be, the marketing, the NY media, they drive that stuff. They don't want you to know the truth. The truth is the truth, and I couldn't be up here talking that truth if I wasn't him. And that's the way it is. So stop being so soft, man. I'm just advocating, man. Pick 6. That's what I do, baby. You know what I mean? Did you get to see any of that craziness? We was going at it. You know what I mean? He telling me I'm acting like a female because, I'm doing comparisons. I'm comparing stats. Now I'm acting like a female. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Now, I guess the question is, in this world, I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes you can't praise someone else and somebody else feel bad. So your main focus of your connotation of what you were trying to say is Stingley was a dog this year and he deserved it, right? That was your main thing. Yeah. Someone else, whoever it is, even if it's not Sauce, someone else say, well, dang, dog, like, why you coming at me like that? But you're like, no, I'm really focusing that Stingley is the guy. Now,
exactly.
Your universal thing, which I agree, because I compared it when you said that you at least got to have 1 pick to be selected. I said, yeah, that's like a DN. If my job was a defensive end And I would feel slighted if I had 5 sacks, say, not even 10, say 5. 10 be astronomical. And they chose someone that had 0 sacks, but they got ahead. Like, okay, that's not a subject that you just sweep up under the rug. That's all I'm saying. You gotta speak on that, because I guarantee it's some people who love Darius Stingley. He might not be the fan favorite right now. He's a dog. I love the way he plays. Outside of Houston, though, he might not have all the lights and glamour, but he's playing some good ball. So sometimes it's like, hey, don't forget about that guy. That guy is a difference maker on that defense, man. Ever since he came back, we talk about CJ Stroud. He's great. And I guarantee CJ will say, well, that defense is playing great, because ever since Darius came back from injury, that team has been winning. And you can chart it back to week 6 of the Carolina Panthers. That team has been winning, bro.
You feel me?
So you're right. Now, I can't argue that. And sometimes in life, when we do say a good thing that somebody deserves, it's not necessarily a knock on someone else. That's all I want to say.
It's not a knock on no one, bro. Y'all got to stop being so serious. I understand, like, a lot of these Twitter accounts are little kids just talking and yapping, and me, I just like to engage. So I talk shit, so I engage and I talk back. But I did have a little talk with Darius Stingley, and I seen, I don't want to talk about our personal conversation, but I seen in the comments and stuff where they were saying he's a little introverted, he don't really do well in front of the camera and stuff. I'm gonna make sure I go up there. We're gonna do an edited version. I'm gonna ask him the questions. I'm gonna ask him once, twice, until he say it right and he's comfortable. I'm gonna make everything feel great, and we're gonna get the brother some exposure. We're gonna get you on camera. You're gonna feel good about yourself, and we're gonna talk that shit. And I'm gonna be right here with you, brother, help you guide you through this shit, because we all go through that. I was scared to get in front of this goddamn camera, goddamn it. I'm here now, and I ain't going nowhere, because I'm gonna say what needs to be said, and you keep getting them goddamn picks, and I'm gonna keep talking that shit. They're gonna be mad at me. The New York media can't handle me. The Boston media, whoever got the favorite cornerbacks, goddamn it, y'all can't handle it, because the truth is the truth. Production is the key, and that's what it is. We want you to produce. We can sit up here and say, man, locked up this man, and this man had 0 catches. We can do this shit all day long, goddamn it. But separate yourself. Go get the ball, because that's all y'all do. New York media is good for that. They good for making up the saying that they locked up this person and did this person. Go get the damn ball. You ain't got to go make up some stats and go look for all these stats when this man was covering this man. It's a team defense. If he don't have a pass breakup when they throwing the ball up on him, then what the fuck? It's a team. It's a team thing. EP went and almost sacked the man, so the ball went high over my head. But I get the credit for that, because I had good defense. I ain't break it up in that. Man, that's the bunch of foolishness I ever heard in my life. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
right.
I'm good with that, man. I hope the Twitter family, the Twitter guys, y'all understand, and the New York media, y'all understand. I'm here protecting greatness. You had lockdown corners in the past. Lockdown corners ain't just showed up. Whoever you said was lockdown, Champ Bailey, Deion Sanders, Charles Woodson, whoever you said, they got the ball. Now all of a sudden, getting the ball is not so important. Boy, y'all is crazy out there. Getting the ball is the number one thing all the time. It's a turnover. It take a full game to lock a man up, but it take one play to get a turnover. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know you're a defensive end, you know what I mean? And you're not used to talking that shit like this, but you know what I mean? I talk that shit. Y'all, everybody that played with me, y'all know, tap in and let the world know that Asante will talk and he won't stop. This ain't nothing new. I'm just getting on camera now. You know what I mean?
Well, tell me before you chill. I just need to know what one thing as a DB stand for when they say, "Oh, they didn't throw the ball to his side." What does that mean? So when they say,
sounds like a damn excuse, another excuse. They don't throw their ball his way that much, and blah blah blah. Listen, however many times they throw it away, he throwed it enough for him to make some plays. Stop with the excuse. Everything is an excuse. Y'all can't just say black and white. This was that. This and that was this. Y'all have to come up with all these excuses. Mine is right there. Deion's is right there. Champ Bailey's is right there. Charles Woodson's is right there. Y'all don't have to make up nothing past right there in front of you. The stats. Y'all got to go up there and try to make up everything for your favorite new client. Yeah, I understand. People not getting as many interceptions as we did in the past and stuff like that. But we ain't finna make people great because they can't get an interception. No. The standards were set. The standards been set. I'm just here trying to protect it for everybody. When the world and the new media and this new social media stuff trying to, saturate the damn greatness is killing me. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. So yeah, man. That's Mr. Say What Needs to Be Said. Hey, Wednesday. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'm going on the Asante Samuel Patriot Marathon. I'm telling it all, the goods, the bad, the ugly, everything. Make sure y'all tune in Wednesday. Listen, I'm just telling my story. Everybody has their story in their side of life. I'm not taking no shots. I'm talking about Tom Brady. I'm talking about Belichick. Everybody. I'm just telling you my interactions and what went down. I'm telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm letting it all out. Because everybody is a part of it. And Tom Brady was one of the main people, you know what I mean? I always say good things, but, it's always something to combat that, you know what I mean? So I'm going to say this to Wednesday, So
That'd
you got
be
anything to say, brother?
Nah, man. Hey, we got some more games tonight, right?
Got some more games tonight.
That game had got canceled on Saturday, so they playing tonight.
So we got to come back tomorrow and cover that because it's playoff time. We got to jump back on and be quick.
We got to hop back on and talk about it. It probably won't take us long.
We love y'all, man. Make y'all love us. Keep supporting us. Shout out to DPat44. One of our number one supporters, always showing us love. You know what I mean? Shout out to DPat. Salute, brother. You know what I mean? And he always in the comments in the Twitter. He going at it with me. Head first. He know real. He love that real shit. I love it too, brother. Shout out, salute, brother. I see you. I see you every time too. Don't think I miss it. I don't miss nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah. Oh, and my late partner here. We gonna hold him accountable. He gonna be prepared. He gonna be on time. Or we cussing him out. We said, hey, next time he show up late, send them snake eyes in the comments. Send a bunch of snakes at him. Be like, snake.
Hey, so before we go, tell me your picks. You got the Steelers and the Bills tonight, and then you got the Eagles and Buccaneers. What you got?
Man, all this drama going down with the Eagles. I want to pick the Eagles so bad. I just don't feel like there is any magic left. A.J. Brown not playing. But Baker Mayfield, he's so hot and cold. You never know what you're going to get with Baker Mayfield. He had one hot game and then 5 terribly cold games. But with all those pros and cons being said, I think I have to go with I'm gonna go with Tampa, man. I'm gonna go with Tampa. Now the Bills and Pittsburgh, it's gonna be a pretty good game. But the difference is, I think Josh Allen, the resurgence of Josh Allen and the new defensive officer coordinator, they got rid of Ken Dorsey, and I think now they're using Josh Allen the correct way. He doesn't have to be Superman every play. They're using that run game and being physical. And when he does need to be Superman every once in a while, he's very effective. And it's effective at the right time. He doesn't need over 300 yards. Stephon Diggs doesn't need to be a 100-yard receiver. And it's a winning formula, and that's that physical trait that they're showing now with new offensive coordinator. That's all they need, man. And sometimes I think offensive coordinating teams get too fancy and too cute trying to establish this passing game and pretty football. Football is a physical game. It's meant to be physical, and physicality wins. You can do all that finesse stuff and look up statistics and say passing this, passing that wins games.
Well, I'm gonna go opposite with you. Now,
all the picks?
No. Just on this Eagles and Buccaneers. I think the Eagles still got it. I think they had to go through starting off high, flying high, right? But they kind of slowed down, which you do not want to slow down going into the playoffs. Right. I don't even know why are they playing in Tampa? What did they do to have to be on the road in the playoffs?
I think because Tampa is the NFC. What are they? NFC East, NFC North, South.
Either way,
they're the champion.
Either way, Philly had to drop the ball somewhere to be on the road, right? They determined their future, so now they're in the fight back phase. I think they'll actually come through. They're 3-point favorites, so I'm gonna go with Philly on this one. I believe in Philly.
I need Philly to win. I want Philly to win, man. It just let me down, man, at this point, man. Too much drama. It's like, come on, man. They're letting the outside noise get to them. You know, Philly is one of the toughest markets they have, and you know these fans and stuff. You got to be able to block that stuff up. Then, you know, you got to be built forward, tough up there, Philly, man. They'll bring it at you.
And now with the Bills and Steelers, I just got to go Bills all day. I think their running game is going to control it. And then outside of that, I look at other teams instead of just the Bills, because I can talk about them. But the Steelers don't even really have a solidified quarterback. And it's like,
but he's doing good.
Hard.
He's doing really good. He's not the prototypical type of quarterback, but he's moving the ball. He's making a lot of plays with his legs, extending the first downs and stuff like that. So, you know, hey, he's getting the job, getting it done. Not the prettiest way passing, but you know, he's leading that team. So
those my two picks. Those my two picks. I got Philly.
2 picks. We're gonna see how well we did tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right. We need to get us a thing with prize picks where we can give our picks with that little app and people can do.
Yeah, we can set all that up, brother. As long as we get on the same page, brother, we can set all that up.
Hey, and here on time. That's all we got.
You know what I mean? We got new stuff coming for y'all. Like we said, we getting better and better, man. So hey, this gonna be the #1 show by next season. I'm telling you. So hey, man, appreciate y'all. All the comments, all the love y'all showing, you know what I mean? Keep supporting. Salute, man. See y'all next time.
Peace.